So just go to the extensions section here and then search for Java here, right? So once you search for Java, you will see this option here, which is the extension pack for Java. And this extension pack is created and managed by Microsoft. So it's the official Java support extension pack from Microsoft. And this extension pack is the combination of all these extensions, for example, test runner for Java, Maven, project manager for Java, debugger for Java, and all these other extensions, right? And this is going to help you in Java IntelliSense, debugging, testing, and many other things. So I'm going to just click on install button here, which is going to install all those extensions. And once those extensions are installed, we can go to our Java file. So you can see all these extensions are installed, and now I can disable or uninstall those extensions at any point. Let me move to the Explorer section here. So I'm going to just select Explorer here and let me close this window. Now, once the extension pack of Java is installed in Visual Studio Code, you can create the Java project from within your Visual Studio Code. So for that, just click on the search option at the top and then first type this angle bracket here. So just type this angle bracket and then type create Java project. And once you type that, you can see this option, create Java project option, which is for the Java programming language. So I'm going to just click on this option, and then you can see many tools here. For now, we are going to select no build tools here. And then I can select the folder where I want to create the project. So let's say I want to create my project into the documents folder. So I can select the documents folder, and then I'm going to click on select the project location. And then I can give the name of my project, right? So I can give the project name as Java apps 2, for example, and then press enter. And it's going to create my Java project with the name Java apps 2, right? Now, if you notice, this project folder is not empty, right? So this project folder comes with some kind of project structure. It has created the .vscode file where I can save all the settings, and it has added the lib directory and the source directory. And also, we also have the basic hello world project using Java inside this app.java file. And all this is created by Visual Studio Code for us. Once again, I can go to my main class. Last time I have shown you can run your Java code using this button. You can also run the Java code using this option. You can see run and debug options are available just above the main method. So when I just select run, it's going to run the main method, and then it's going to show me the output of that program. So you can see the output is visible on the terminal. So simple Java programs are working fine. Now let's say I want to debug my code using Visual Studio Code, right? So I can already see this debug button, but how to use this? So for that, I'm going to just change this program and add a very simple program which can just calculate the sum of two numbers, right? So there are these two numbers, and I have assigned 10 and 20 values to it. And then there is this function which is called, and it adds these two term numbers and gave us the result, right? So you can see when I click on this drop down menu, I can also run this program in the debug mode. Also, there is the specialized or specific debug section in Visual Studio Code, which will help you to manage your debug related settings and run your project in the debug mode. But first of all, if you already know that for debugging, we can add some breakpoints into our code. So for example, I want to add the breakpoint here and here. You can see those red dots here, and these are called the breakpoints. And when you go to the debugger here, whenever you add the breakpoint, that is visible under the breakpoints section, right? So let me add the breakpoint here also in front of this result, and you can see this is added here, and you will also see on which line number it's added. So one breakpoint is on line number 4, 5 and 13. Now to debug this code, once I have added the breakpoints, I can either use this option or this option at the top, or even I can use this option and then I can just click on start the debugging. Any option will work. So let me just select run and start debugging from here, and it's going to start your program in the debug mode. And you can see my program is now running in the debug mode. And once you start the debugging, you will see some buttons at the top, right? So this is for the continue button. You can use this button for step over, and then step into buttons are also available here, and then restart and stop buttons are also there. There is this hotkey replacement option also, which we can see a little bit later. But you can see our program execution is stopped at line number 4, and on the left hand side you will see the local variable values, and you can also add some variables into the watch list. So let's say I want to add some variable into my watch list, so I can just click on plus here and then paste the name of my variable here. Now to step over, I can click on this step over button. So I'm on this next line, and you can see the value of variable num1 is equal to 10. So 10 is assigned to the number 1, but still program is on line 5, and this num2 variable is not being assigned with 20, but this can be done when we step over. So this line is executed, and then this number is assigned to num2 here. So at this point, I can also see these variables here also. So Visual Studio Code has added those highlights here just to make it clear that num2 is assigned with 20, num1 is assigned with 10, and at this point this value is this one, but this add function is not being executed yet, right? So at this point, when I step over once again, you can see the program execution is stopped at this point. So result is not assigned still. So I step over once again, and now it has calculated the sum of a plus b, and result is assigned to result variable. But still we are waiting for the sum variable that it has the value of result. So when we step over again, then you will see this program execution stops here, and then once we do that, the sum variable is assigned with the value of 30, and this is the variable we were watching, right? And at this point we are just printing this sum into the terminal. So when we step over again, this value is just printed into the terminal. So this is how you can run the debugger. Now from here, you can toggle these breakpoints. So let me just continue, which is going to just continue and come out of the debugging. And you can see here breakpoints. So when I click on toggle, all breakpoints are there, but they are disabled, right? Once again, when I click on this toggle button, when these breakpoint turns red, that means they are active. Otherwise, if they are gray, that means they are inactive, right? I can even remove all the breakpoints using this button here. And then I can also catch the caught exception or uncaught exceptions using these checkboxes. So let me just cancel this debugging here. Now you can also add the debugging configuration into your project. So when we have created our project, this .vscode folder is added, and this is for the Visual Studio Code settings and debug files, right? Right now it has settings.json file, but when we go to the debug section and then select this option which says create a launch.json file, it's going to create this launch.json file, and then you can provide the configuration into your JSON file, right? So I'm going to click on Java attach, and this JSON file is created. So once this JSON file is created, I can save this file, and then you can see in this .vscode folder there is this launch.json file. So this type of launch.json file will be useful when you want to share your code with your colleagues and they also want to run or debug your code with the same configuration as you, right? So that's why these kind of configurations are useful. So let's move to our app.java file, and here our code is running in the debug mode. We can also see how this step into works. So when I click on step into, it moves over, but when there is a method, it's going to step into that method and then going to go forward. And then let's say if there is some native Java method or class, for example, this system is the native Java class, right? When I step into this, it's going to open this kind of file which is in your Java core, right? So this is in the java lang.invoke library, which is in the Java base library, right? So in this debug section, we were using current file, right? There are two options. One is attach, other is current file. And we were using this option, right? So this is there in the launch.json. So whatever object you have the name to those objects, and this is what we are selecting from here. So we are selecting current file, right? So in order to skip those step into filters, we can add one more argument, and that argument is called step filters argument, and it's going to add the default step filters. So you can see it will skip classes like jdk or junit, and then also these flags are added. So I can save this launch.json and rerun my debugger, and then once I go to the system.out, it goes to this class which was the java.base, right? So I can skip this also. So you just need to know what is the main Java library from which in which we are stepping into, and once we know that, which is java.base in my case, I can just go to my launch.json file and add this here. So I can just write java dot asterisk here, right? Or if you want to be specific, you can also add java dot lang or and whatever specific class was that, right? So let me just add the asterisk here and then add the comma here and save this file. So let me go out of this debugger and restart this debugger after adding this skip, right? So when I just start the debugging again, and then this time once again, when I step into the code, and when we are on this line, if you remember last time it was going inside the system class, right? This time when I do that, it just comes out. So we are skipping, going or stepping into that core class if we want to. So this is possible using this launch.json file, right? Specifically this line. So you can add some more settings into your debug file so that you can control your debugging in a better way. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video.